Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Let's try to organize this a little bit more. Maybe, maybe not. We'll do a spread the word here too. We just got back from visiting my brothers. So we are a few minutes later than what we usually would be. So we're going to spread the word here real quick while we go through. But how's everyone doing out there? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Maybe we have people come on. We're going to do a quick. Hey everyone, we are coming to you live from not my parents' house, from my parents' house, from my condo, but not from my parents' house. If you guys want to join us, click the link right down here. We are answering your Disney questions for the next half hour. Okay, so today we're going to be doing an Ask the Expert segment. So if you guys have never joined us for an Ask the Expert segment before, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through and answering your questions about anything and everything Disney. As you can tell from looking around here, we are coming from a different spot than what we're used to. We're currently visiting my parents, or visiting my whole family, up in Wisconsin. And so join us live. So because of that, we are going to do a short episode. That way I can go back downstairs and spend some more time with my family. But we're also going to let you do all of your questions that you guys wanted to go through and ask. We are talking about anything and everything Disney right now over on the From Screen to Theme Facebook page and my YouTube channel. Okay, so we're going to be doing a shortened episode, about half an hour, going through answering your questions. It is showing me that we do have not the greatest service here. So the bars that it usually shows me, it's not on your screen, but on my screen it shows me how good the connection is. It's showing the connection is not the greatest. So we're going to be going through. I apologize if the connection is not going through as well as it usually does, but let's get to it. We're going to start at the 727th, I want to say, episode of the Wednesday show in 727. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 727th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is July 26th, 2023, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be going through and answering your questions about anything and everything Disney. So over the next half hour, throw any questions that you have down in the comments below about anything and everything Disney that you may want answered, and we will go through and answer as many questions as possible before we wrap up. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, I would like to let you guys know that this Saturday we are not going to be doing our Saturday in the park, because obviously I'm in Wisconsin, so we are not going to be going to the park. So I do apologize that we will not be coming to you live once again until next Wednesday, when we are still going to be here, but we will be going through and answering more of your Disney questions. So until then, I do apologize. But tonight's show is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel. Make sure you stop by It's All About the Mousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All their services are absolutely positively 100% totally free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. Okay, no questions have come through yet. So if you guys have never joined us for an Ask the Expert segment before, you guys are just going to be throwing as many questions into the comments as possible about anything and everything Disney that you guys want to have answered. But if there's no questions coming up, it's going to be a very, very, very short episode. So please start throwing your questions into the comments. It is showing that we do have some people watching. Maybe I'm just not getting the comments coming through. Let me check my side here, because it does keep on popping up saying the connection is kind of iffy. So we'll go through. It shows that there's been one person who gave a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, so throw your questions over. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping this show up extremely quickly here. Let's do. Well, while you guys are sitting here, I guess we'll look around the room. There's not much in this room anymore to answer some questions. Let's start off with a little bit of, I don't even know. I'm drawing the biggest blank, and we are losing people quickly. Holy cow. Does anyone out there have any questions? No. Is the chat room working for anyone? It shows we've got people watching, but is the chat room not working for anybody right now? Is that what's going on? Can anyone give us a sign of life out there that you are getting this actually coming through, or that the chat room's working? Because right now it is showing that we have multiple people watching. It's just showing that we have absolutely zero comments coming through right now on both ends, on my chat and this chat. So maybe there is a problem with the connection. I have no idea. If you have my personal message, or if you want to send me a message on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, we can go through that stuff as well. I am going through my other messages here. Is there anything coming through? This could be the shortest episode of the Wednesday show ever if no one asks any questions. Any questions? Send me a message if the thing's not working. I don't think the thing's working, honestly. So send your questions over to, someone actually just sent me a message. Yesterday, you talked about your favorite Pixar films on Instagram. Why is Up your favorite? That's a good question. Let's start off with that one. Send your questions, I guess, on Instagram, because that's working right now. I don't recognize the username, though. So I don't know if it's someone on here, but so my favorite movie or my favorite Pixar movie is Up. And the reason that it is Up is I just think it's like a perfect story. I do. Like, I think things like Toy Story and A Bug's Life and Monsters, Inc. and all those other ones are great films. However, there is just something about Up. I think, first off, the first 10 minutes of Up is like, first off, one of the saddest moments in film history ever. But at the same time, I think it's one of the best storytelling in film history ever, too. I think those 10 minutes of Carl and Ellie's relationship and kind of going through that, I think, is just so well done and so well written that it's worth. Wait. Disney. I'm sending that in there too. Okay. We just wrote in the chat room. I don't know if it's working for you guys. But I think that first 10 minutes is some of the best written dialogue ever. And it goes from a great, like, simple love story, and then it turns into one of the greatest action films of all time. And I think Russell is one of the greatest characters ever written. I think Doug is one of the greatest characters ever written. I think Carl Fredricksen is one of the greatest characters ever written. And I think Charles Muntz is a great villain, especially the fact that they have it so it is not just a villain, but it's actually the person that Carl Fredricksen looked up to the most as he was growing up. I think that just made it one of the greatest twists in cinematic history, to have it so all of a sudden he becomes the villain of the entire thing. So overall, absolutely loved it. I think it's just a great film, and that's why it's my favorite. On the other side, The Good Dinosaur, I think, is one of the worst films. And the main reason why I think it's one of the worst films is something that we've talked about on here before. But if you ever went through and watched the original, or if you ever went to the D23 Expo when they announced The Good Dinosaur, they were talking about all the different film stars that were going to be in it. People like Neil Patrick Harris was going to be the main role. Other big names were going to be the big roles. And so they're going through all these different people who are going to be big name people that are going to be part of this production. And after they went through all of this different stuff and they told us about like how it's going to be humans and dinosaurs, like, you know, living together and interacting with each other and like trying to grow society together, all of a sudden it went into the movie that we got as The Good Dinosaur. And I was so disappointed because I just remember at that D23 Expo thinking, this is the greatest concept of a movie ever, because I love Pixar. I love dinosaurs. I think it's going to be a great film. And then nothing came out of it. And it became, hands down, one of my least favorite Disney films of all time. It looks like that is still not working. The chat room is still not working. So again, if you guys have any questions that you want to have answered, throw them into the questions, or try to throw it into the chat room. If it's not working on the chat room, send me a message on Facebook or on Instagram, and I will go through. We actually do have another thing. What is your favorite detail found in Fantasyland? Favorite detail found in Fantasyland. My favorite detail found in Fantasyland. I think it's the fact that we have 3 Cinderella stories or 4 Cinderella stories that are being told, found throughout the entire land. So for those of you who do not watch my 50 years, 50 days, 50 fun finds things, oh, the chat room all of a sudden just started working for someone. Howdy, y'all. Hey, Ride the Teacups. So for you, along with the other people, we've got 13 people who are watching right now, but no one's typing in the chat room. People are sending me messages on Instagram, though. But that does give me hope that now the chat room's working again. We're answering any questions about anything and everything Disney, so throw your questions into the comments, and we're going to answer all your questions over the next half hour here. But if you didn't watch my 50 years, 50 days, 50 fun find series, that happened 2 years ago now, which is kind of crazy. It's been that long. During that series, I did have it so my first 4 episodes were about the 4 places where the Cinderella story takes place. One of them is the mosaics that are found within the castle. That's the most basic one. Or not the most basic, but it's the most in-your-face one that everyone can kind of see. And goes through 5 different panels and tells the story of Cinderella from the very start to the very end. Hey, Matt, how you doing? And then when you get to the end, it eventually has it. So it's the Cinderella and Prince Charming riding happily ever after into the sunset. In addition to that, we also have it so the Cinderella story is told above the carousel. So if you look above the carousel, there are 18 different panels there. The 18 different panels tell the entire story of Cinderella from the very first shot of Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella Castle, not Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella Castle, and goes all the way through them riding off to their happily ever after. Our third one, which is also at a guest point of view, is the Cinderella Fountain, aka From Rags to Riches, where if you look at Cinderella, she is wearing rags just like she is at the start of the film. However, if you line up Cinderella with the backdrop in the back at a certain angle, you can actually see that there is a crown on her head, making her go from rags, which she is at the start of the film, to riches, which she is at the end of the film. Also, fun fact about this fountain is when you're actually sitting there at the fountain, you will notice that the bubblers or drinking fountains are at a child's level. So when a kid goes up, they just have to drink it like this, while an adult would actually have to go down and bend over. And that's because the adults are bowing down to royalty. And then our final one that you can actually see in the area is up in the actual Dream Suite. And while you're up in the Dream Suite, if you look from left to right inside the building, it's right to left when you're outside of the building. It actually tells the story of Cinderella. It starts off at the chateau, and then it gets to the, I'm trying to think how it goes. Chateau, and then it's the invitation to the ball, and then it is the glass slipper, the clock striking midnight, clock striking midnight, glass slipper, Jacques and Gus to the rescue, and then the final one is the castle, where they are all living happily ever after. How's my family? My family's really good. I got to meet my new niece today, so I was extremely excited about that. And then go through and just enjoy the time. What's a drinking fountain? It is a bubbler. It's a bubbler. I don't care what other people say. It's definitely a bubbler. Thank you. It's good to be back in Wisconsin. It's a lot nicer weather-wise here than it is in Florida. All right, so again, if you guys are just joining us, we are doing an Ask the Expert segment tonight. We're going to do a shortened show. We're doing about a half-hour show. We are 14 minutes into it right now. But go through and ask any questions about anything and everything Disney, and we're going to go through and answer as many of these questions as possible as we go through here over this half hour. I need to find a better way to set this up. Fun fact. The Wednesday show has been going on for almost a grand total of 14 years, which is kind of crazy. And the very first episode ever was right here in this very room. So not bad. You're going to win the badminton tournament. I hope so. I really hope so, Matt. Good evening. It's okay. I have work tomorrow. I am on vacation, so I'm very, very happy for 10 days. Okay, so Again, if anyone out there has any questions, throw your questions in the comments below about anything and everything Disney. I will see if anyone else is written on Instagram. But otherwise, we'll go to your questions because you guys are actually sitting there live. And maybe it's actually working for you guys now. Let me check on Instagram again here, see if any questions came through. No questions came through. So we are relying on you guys in the chat room right now. I will check the other things, see if anyone went through as well. Nope. Okay, so we are relying on you guys out there to throw your questions out there for more questions. When are you going to come to Disneyland? My next time to Disneyland will be in January for sure. For the Disneyland half marathon, I will be doing the half marathon and the 5K. Still trying to get into the 10K, but right now, I'm only signed up for the other two. I'm signed up for the 5K and the half marathon in Disneyland. So I will be there in January for sure. But we are going to try, or we were talking about trying to do the Coast to Coast Crazy Challenge once again. So for those of you guys who missed it last year we did a crazy challenge where we had to do the 14 attractions that are found at Magic Kingdom and also found in Disneyland, do the 14 attractions in Magic Kingdom, and then fly out to Disneyland and do the exact same 14 attractions in the same day over in Disneyland. And due to flight delays, it did not work out for us. So we are talking about attempting it again. We're just not sure exactly when or how or anything else like that. But we are definitely looking at it again. So it all comes down to possibly finding a more direct flight than what we had last time. Do you like stage shows like Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair? I love to see a full show when I visit. So I like the castle shows. I think the Friendship Fair is a pretty good one. I don't think it's the best one that they've had, but I do think that it's a pretty good show. I think when it comes to like live stage shows, I prefer like Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I think is great. Festival Lion King is the best in my opinion. Finding Nemo the musical is another great one. And then I think like Beauty and the Beast live on stage is a great one. I think there's a lot of great stage shows that they have around Disney. Dream Along with Mickey was a great one. What was the Mickey and the Magical Map over at Disneyland is probably the best live show that they've done that was not like exclusive to like a nighttime show. Like Fantasmic is without a doubt the best stage show that they do. If you would consider it a stage show, I consider it kind of a stage show, but not always a stage show. I don't know. It really depends on the mood that I'm in on whether or not I want to have it. So it's that. But yeah, I liked Mickey and the Magical Map over in Disneyland was a great one. Actually, I think the best stage productions that Disney does are actually the ones that are on the cruise lines. I think all of the shows that they do on the cruise lines are just unbelievable. And I don't know if it's just because that's the only thing that you really have that's like set in stone of like, this is going to be the most Disney thing you're going to do today. But yeah, we'll see. But I do enjoy Fantasmic. I think Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair is a great one as well. So yeah, keep on throwing your questions to the comments about anything and everything Disney, and we'll answer any and all questions as we go through. Hey Tinsley, how you doing? 100% agree on the Disney Cruise Line shows. Aladdin was the best one that I saw. Matt, have you seen the Rogers the Musical? I would love to see Rogers the Musical, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to get out there before it ends next month. That's just too short of a run, in my opinion. I keep throwing your questions out there. We've got about 10 to 15 minutes left here to answer any and all questions that you guys have. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, it's too bad. Disneyland bites due to work. What's going on with the Beaver Tails? They were announced for Food and Wine and then disappeared. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. And Food and Wine started today, right? So yeah, today was the soft opening for it. So I am not sure. I honestly have no idea what happened with it. I'm not a big food person. We go through and talk about the Food and Wine Festival every single year. We'll be talking about it in 2 weeks. But I'm not a big food person. And actually, one of the people I asked me the other day at work, they said, "Are you really excited for Food and Wine?" I said, The only thing that I absolutely love about Food and Wine is the run at the end of the whole thing. So that's my thing. Have you ever been evacuated from Kelly River Rapids? Kids were in line today and saw people stuck. That would be a fun evacuation. That would be a great evacuation. I have never been evacuated from Kelly River Rapids. Let's go through and try to recap all of the rides that I've been evacuated from. And this is going to be tough because I was talking to someone the other day and I realized that there's more than I realized that there were. All of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. There's also this one. Eric, it is working. That's weird. Is it because I'm in Wisconsin? I don't know. That's weird. Oh, wait. So there we go. Someone else just said list all evacuations. Let's do the evacuations. Okay, I have done. I've been evacuated from the following rides. Pirates of the Caribbean at one point when I was little. I don't really count it because I don't really remember it, but we'll throw it out there. I've been evacuated from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I've walked through the Haunted Mansion when I was a cast member, but I have not walked through that in quite some time. I have been evacuated. I'm going through the not Peter Pan. I've been evacuated from Mickey's Pillar of Magic. I've been evacuated from Winnie the Pooh twice. Dumbo once, which was a crazy experience. So they actually just had it so we were stuck up there for about 10 minutes. And so they slowly lowered us down. Like it was like pretty much a crank down. And you slowly came back down. And then we were still not aligned to where the ride's supposed to stop. So then they actually had it so we continued going. Like they rebooted the whole system. And they're like, if you leave, like, please just stay in your chair because we need to make sure that like it doesn't start going while people are exiting. So I have been evacuated from, let's see here, not Space Mountain, but that's a dream. I was almost evacuated from Tron, but unfortunately that did not happen. I've been evacuated from People Mover. I think it's been 5 times. I've been evacuated from Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor because a guy started cursing and they all of a sudden turned off the whole show. And they said, everyone, we are unfortunately closing this season of, or not this season, but this episode of Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. And we all had to be evacuated from Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor because of that. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin I've been evacuated from. Over at Epcot, I was just evacuated from Spaceship Earth not that long ago. I have been evacuated from Ellen's Energy Adventure when that existed. I've been evacuated from... Is that it? That might be it over there. And no, Soarin'. I got evacuated from Soarin' one time. Another crazy situation where we were stuck up there for quite some time, and they were able to lower 2 of us down, but not the middle section. So we literally had to sit there for about 25 to 30 minutes, locked into place, waiting for the other thing to come down. What was the ride? I was just evacuated from a ride not that long ago. Like literally, like it was Spaceship Earth, and then literally a few weeks later, it was People Mover. So never mind. Over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, I've been evacuated from Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I've been evacuated from Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Stopped halfway through the ride. I've been evacuated from Rise of the Resistance, and Rise of the Resistance 3 times. Toy Story Midway Mania, I've been evacuated from. I have been evacuated from, I think that might be it over there. Over at Animal Kingdom, there was one ride, and I've been evacuated from Flight of Passage. And that's it over there. And then in addition to that, I've been evacuated from like Pinocchio's Daring Journey over at Disneyland, Snow White's Scary Adventure over at Disneyland, Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue. And then over in Disneyland Paris, I've been evacuated from the Crushes coaster. So yeah. Not bad. So a lot of evacuations have happened throughout the years. All right, let's see if I'm going through your questions here. Do you like the character meet and greets? I do. I love character meet and greets. Especially if you've ever watched my Run Disney footage, then you know that like literally I do run Disney to meet as many characters as possible. I do try to meet characters quite often, not all the time, but I do try to meet them quite often, especially if there's a character explosion, which is where they have it so the characters are learning how to do meet and greets, and they're also having it so the character attendants are learning how to do meet and greets. And they will usually have it at Epcot or Disney's Hollywood Studios where they just kind of explode in there. And, so again, I had that a few weeks ago where I met a penguin from Mary Poppins, Gideon from Pinocchio, and a whole lot of other characters. Rafiki was there, a whole lot of characters there, kind of doing meet and greets, which was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Other questions. What's going on with Dragon? They say they are working on a new Dragon, but no exact word on exactly when it might be coming back. So hopefully it'll be coming back at some point. We just don't know when it'll be coming back. Hey. Welcome to the show. You got to evacuate from Space Mountain. That's one of my things I've always wanted to do. My favorite evacuation was Splash Mountain. We were at the top of the first drop. Oh, that would be so cool. I was so there's been 2 times where I was going to be evacuated from Space Mountain and Splash Mountain where I was with people and they were like, oh, we're going to go to Space Mountain. And I had to go to work. So I was like, I'd love to go on, but I have to go to work. They got evacuated. And then same thing happened with Splash Mountain where I was with people and I had to go to work. And then they were evacuated from Splash Mountain. So bottom line, quit your job so you can get evacuated more often. Evacuated from Tower of Terror because of a ghost poncho. That was I remember you talking about that. Actually, now that you say that, I've also been evacuated from Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, aka the new Tower of Terror over at California Adventure. And that was a weird one too, because they were going to evacuate us from the actual like level that we were on. And the Cat Swarm came out and he realized it was not completely aligned. And because it was not completely aligned for our safety, they could not take us out of the car. And so they had to slowly lower us down. And if you've ever been on that ride over there, it's like all these different levels that you go through in like different scenes. And so we kept on going through and the guy kept on meeting us in the stairs, like, okay, just make sure that you guys are still coming down. And then we'd start going down. He'd run down the stairs and be waiting for us to the next one. So it was pretty funny. How the heck would you get evacuated from Cali? So Cali, it depends on where you are, but there's some places where they have it so they can like swivel out things to actually like evacuate you from. There is one spot where they are able to actually lower the water down, like drain the water so people can get out it that way as well. I just want to get evacuated from Cali. That's my life goal. So many awesome new popcorns, buckets, and sippers coming out. You're going to run out of room. Yeah, there's been a lot of really cool ones that have been coming out, and I really want that popcorn bucket that they just announced the other day of the train that's over at Disneyland. That is like the coolest popcorn bucket I've ever seen. I would love to get that one. Someone also sent me the popcorn bucket today. Here, let me find it real quick. Maybe if I don't know if I'll be able to. It's been such a crazy day of running around. So I maybe not. I can't find it. But it's like a Beauty and the Beast one, which looked really cool too. So a lot of really cool ones. Hello, Dino is King, my liege. Slash Mountain Evacuation was at night too. Oh, that was so cool. Thanks for tonight's chat. Enjoy your time with your family. Thank you, MCM. They announced Fantasmic is closed until 2024, and the Dragon won't be returning. Oh, really? They're going to retheme it, and Mickey will still go head-to-head with Maleficent, but just not the Dragon form. That's kind of sad. Yeah, that would be Disneyland. Yep. Why does Disneyland get all the cool buckets? I think the main reason they get all the cool buckets is because there are so many returning visitors opposed to Walt Disney World. Like, so Disneyland's attendance, it's like 65% of the people are annual pass holders who are going to be there multiple times throughout the year. So I think it's their way to incentive the people to like keep on coming back and, doing more and more and more. And then Walt Disney World is like 10% of the people who go are repeat visitors throughout the year. But the majority of the people are like one-time visitors, or they may never come back again. And so because of that, it's like they don't really need to bring out all the really cool things like popcorn buckets all the time, because it's not going to be the same people coming over and over again. So unfortunately, Yeah. Tokyo Disneyland has all the amazing merch. Yes, they do. They really, really do. We need to get out to Tokyo sometime soon. Okay, keep throwing some questions out there. We'll stay on. I said it was going to be half an hour. It's been half an hour, but we'll go on for another few minutes here. So if anyone out there has any more questions, throw your questions out there, and we'll answer as many questions as possible over the next few minutes. We'll do another 10. We'll stay till 9:20 or 10:20. Field trip to Tokyo. I like that idea. Shanghai as well, 100%. When is the next race? The next race will be the Food and Wine, the Wine and Dine Half Marathon. So not until November. Not until November, but we will be doing, like right now they have a virtual run series. So in June, July, and August, you're supposed to do a 5K. So I've been doing that. So I've got June and July's 5Ks done. I still have to do August's 5K. I've already got the medals. So, and I've been trying to do at least 1 to 2 5Ks every single week. So yeah, we'll see. I probably won't do one the next 10 days though when I'm here. When does the badminton tournament start? The Golden Shuttlecock Tournament, the quest for the Dodge Cup, begins Saturday on ESPN. Not ESPN. It'll just be a home video. Have you done the DuckTales adventure besides the soft opening? I can't remember. Yes, I've done it a few times now. Every time, an amazing experience. I think it's just one of the greatest experiences that they do. Just being able to go through and see the DuckTales characters while inside the park is just a dream come true for everyone. No way are we in second place. I'm not letting that happen this year. How long are you in Wisconsin for? Do you have somewhere you always like to visit when you go up there? Oh, we're getting to Wisconsin questions. I will be up here for 10 days. Today being the second day. Technically, it's the first day because my flight got so delayed. Yeah, 10 days. And yeah, we some places you always have. I mean, I mainly come up here to see my nieces and nephew and the rest of my family, but they're the ones who it's like I need to see them almost every day. So we do our best to spend. That's how I spent today. I was with my 3 youngest nieces for quite a few hours, and then my older niece and nephew came over and spent a few hours too. So yeah, that's my main thing. But I have to go to Culver's, which I did go through the drive-through today and get some cheese curds on the way to my brother's place. I was going to go to Lumber Inn, which is my favorite restaurant. It's in Delafield, I point because it's like right down not down the street, but it's not too far away from here. I mainly try to go to like the restaurants that I used to go to. So that's the only thing. Family and food. Said hello to Scrooge and Launchpad for you today. Thank you. I appreciate that. Cheese curds, there we go. Are you at mom and dad's house? I am. I'm at my parents' house right now. This is the birthplace of the Wednesday show. This exact room, this exact seating location. Except that I was probably seated like right here instead. Almost 14 years ago, we were in this location when the Wednesday show was formed. And yeah, this is where it all started. So cool. So that's your room. Yes, this is my bedroom. This is the room I grew up in from 1990 until 2010 with trips to college and stuff like that in between. So yeah, this is the room I grew up in. You are the best uncle ever. I try. I really do try. I make sure that the kids know that I am too. Brats for the win. Yes, I cannot wait to have some brats too. I've not had a brat yet, but I will have a brat sometime soon. Do you think we'll ever do something with the Rivers of the Light Theater and Animal Kingdom, such a large space unused? I really hope so. I really wish they would have kept Kite Tales. I loved Kite Tales. The thing that drives me crazy about things like Kite Tales is the fact that people like me loved Kite Tales. There was a lot of people who hated Kite Tales, and they're the ones that made the biggest stink about it online and complained to Disney saying, "I don't understand why you have this Kite Tales show. It's stupid, blah 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 blah." And they make the biggest stink about it, and why? It doesn't make any sense because if they get rid of it, it's not like it's affecting that person at all, but it's affecting the people who do enjoy it. And all they're doing is having it so you're taking one more thing away from the parks. So might as well keep the things in the parks so you have more opportunities to enjoy the things in the parks. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. It really does not make any sense. Have a good evening. Oh, have a good evening. Thank you for stopping by, Debbie. So Cops or Culver's custard burger? Culver's, 1,000,000%. I like Cops, but Culver's. Culver's is the superior, in my mind. Do you think they'll ever use drones in Walt Disney World? They have used drones in Walt Disney World. Actually, they've used drones a few times in Walt Disney World. Who remembers the Christmas show that used to be over at downtown/Disney Springs? Way back in the day. Not way back in the day, but 6 years ago, 7 years ago for Christmas, they had it so they had a drone show that was over the lake, and it was one of the coolest things ever. But unfortunately, they got rid of it. And I don't know why they got rid of it because actually I kind of know why they got rid of it. The main reason they got rid of it was because when they would go through and add in the minivan services, the location where the minivan services like main building is for all the drivers and actually where they would park all the cars was in the same parking lot where the drones would launch off from. So yes. What are stars for? What stars? I'm confused by this question. What are stars for? I miss the Curd Burger too. The Curd Burger was the greatest thing ever. Like Flying Baymax. They had, when the opening of New Fantasyland opened up, they had a flying dragon that went overhead. And then when Galaxy's Edge opened up, they had flying X-Wings going overhead. So all those things would just be so cool to have again. Wait, 200 stars? I'm very confused right now. What stars are you talking about? I'm like going through. Did I miss something? I might have missed something. Have you been the Barefoot Brother? If me and my brother are the Barefoot Brothers. That is our badminton name. And we've only lost. Well, we lost last year and the year before that. He was not able to play, and we lost it as well. Send 200 stars to pin your comments here. I have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't know what you're. I have no. Does anyone else see that? Stars that we can send for support. I'm still very confused. I know that there is here. Let me try to pull this up on the other side here. I do not see anything about stars, so I'm not sure. Can you tell us what your best friend? Yes, my best friend is named BD39. He's a little droid that rolls around with me in Galaxy's Edge, and he's got popcorn inside of him, and it's amazing. It is the greatest thing in the entire world, and I love BD39. It's a great question, Keith. Keith was the one. If you saw that video, here, wait, let me find that video where Keith and I are literally like prancing around Galaxy's Edge. That's me and Keith with our popcorn buckets. Yeah, and he lights up. And now, yeah, send me a screenshot on Messenger because I'm very confused. I don't think I've ever seen what you're talking about on there. I should have brought him with me to Wisconsin. Have you watched any of the new Bluey episodes? I have watched 3 of them. I've watched the first 2, and then I also had it. So today, my nieces wanted to watch the new Bluey, or the new Grannies episode, Mobile Grannies. Send 200 stars to pin your comments here. Oh yeah, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea. I've never. I don't think I get any benefit from stars. Do I get any benefits from stars? I don't think I do. I can make money on the From Screen to Theme Facebook page, but I don't really know. Imagine how rich you'd be if Disney wasn't a thing. Very, very rich. You watched 6 of the new Bluey episodes. Nice. Yeah, Mobile Grannies is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And then it was funny. It's a good thing that I watched the first 2 because Stories, which was the second episode of the new ones, I was with my nieces, and the 3-year-old was like, I want to watch the car one. And my brother and sister-in-law were so confused trying to figure out what the car one was. And we kept on going through and trying to figure it out. And then she said something about turning into a car. And I was like, haha, that was Stories. I watched that one yesterday. So we watched that one again. And I think it's a great episode too. Winton, who I had never seen before. Or I've seen him before, but kind of forgot about him. May be one of my favorite things ever. Why do you think British shows are so successful? I'm not sure. Bluey is from Australia. Bluey is definitely an Australian show. But I also think that one of the things that makes Bluey so successful is that it was originally intended to be a show specifically for adults. And the people that are pitching it to were said that they should actually have it so it was more of a kids show than an adult show. And they switched up a little bit, and that's how we got Bluey. So, fun fact for you. Okay. Let's go through. We'll answer one more question, and then we will wrap this up. So the next person to throw a question in is going to be our final question of the evening. So throw your questions in the chat room. Yeah, I saw that. I have no idea what that is. Zero clue what that is. I've never seen that before. I don't get anything from it. I have no idea what that is. Some are, but this was, so Bluey was specifically going to be an adult show. Like, it wasn't going to be a kids show at all. Like, it was going to be like a primetime show, and then switched around and go through. What do you do to pacify your Disney withdrawals? I sit in that corner and I rock a lot, back and forth, talking to myself about People Mover. Hello, welcome aboard the People Mover. Your highway in the sky. Boom, boom, boom. My name's Orak. You rewatch Secret to make sure you decide you didn't like it. I'll watch it tonight. What is your favorite food at Chicken Guy? Chicken. My favorite food at Chicken Guy, I like the Sauce Boss with number 13 and 15 sauces. I don't know what sauces they are. I just know the numbers. And I also like the chicken Caesar salad. I'm not a big salad guy, but that is a great, great salad. Okay, we're going to wrap that up right here. As always, tonight's episode is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel. It's all about the mouse travel. Jazz hands. Make sure you stop by. It's allaboutthemousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All their services are absolutely positively 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. I'd like to thank everyone out there for joining us once again this week. Please keep on spreading the word about the Wednesday show and From Spring Theme, and invite anyone and everyone to join the group on Facebook or to come over here and subscribe on YouTube as well. Also, we are not going to be having any new full videos over the course of the next 10 days. However, we are going to still continue to have shorts being uploaded every day at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you join us every single Saturday for that. So make sure, or not every Saturday, every single day, continue to go over and watch our YouTube shorts because you still get a little dose of Disney. As always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next week, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't stand this kind.